Hi again, BookTube. It's Peg back at the History Shelf. I am very excited for this video. I've talked about it many a time. Recently, I had a video, I think it was entitled Book Catalog and Some New Arrivals. But that video I talked about this catalog I received, Liberty Fund Books. And this was a revelation to me, this publisher. And this catalog, it was free. I requested it from their website. I just emailed, and I got this beautiful collector's edition, really commemorating 60 years, and ton of amazingly beautiful books that have stood the test of time. And I fell in love with so many different things, and I've noticed a few of you have asked for this catalog, and it tickles me pink. And to know that you've notated it, you've kind of picked out books that you're wanting to get. Liberty Fund Books publishes a lot of economic history, political philosophy, but also history, which is obviously something I'm really into. But I'm also into the political, intellectual debates around the different ideologies that have appeared over time and in the Western civilization. So I had and the great thing about this catalog is you get the 20% off code. And so the prices were just ridiculously cheap. Paperbacks range anywhere from $14.50, you can get a set for $22. And then I saw Andrew B's channel, and he was showing off some of his Liberty Fund books, which made me drool even more and just added more books to my wish list. So I thought I'd start off with an affordable purchase, just so I can get a feel for the quality of the books and all that. So based off of a video that Andrew B did showing some of their paperback editions, I thought, whoops, there goes my glasses. I thought I would check those out. But I have to say, I splurged on one of them that I at first was going to get in paperback. And then I decided, you know what, I want to get the hardcover. So, my first Liberty Fund purchase is this beautiful 3-volume set by Hippolyte Taine, I believe is the French pronunciation. I even looked that up today. And this is the hardbound version. So let me just go ahead and give you guys a good close look. I know several of you, one in particular really wants a good close-up look. So let me go ahead and just pull out the first volume. And this is a very interesting, I have not read it yet, but this was written, I believe, sometime in the 1800s. And it's an interesting take on the French Revolution. I think Andrew B described it the best by saying it's not your typical history. There's going to be a lot of different flowery language or personal opinion and things like that, which is totally fine with me. And here's our author. All I can say is, okay, look at this. This is cloth bound. If you can just take a look, as Andrew has shown in the videos, that the buckram is colored to match. It's giving it, in my video, it's giving it a slight tint. It could be the lamp I'm using. Let me see if I am. Oh, this doesn't do any better. Okay, but it comes with a ribbon. And what I find fascinating, and I'll describe this to you later, but every front cover of the Liberty Fund books has this logo, like almost like hieroglyphic, but it's not quite. I'll tell you what it stands for in a second, because I just read it in the other book. But can you hear this as I'm opening this? Hang on. Sorry. It is still like the pages are still like coming apart from the gilding. And it's just gorgeous. Anyway, this is the first volume. Volume 1 is translated by John Durand. This was, gosh, when was this written? Well, Hippolyte Taine, or Hippolyte, I guess the anglicized version of that is Hippolyte Taine. He lived from 1828 to 1893. So it has the nice contents. The typeset is beautiful. Wow, I thought when I got this that the entire book would be this red color. But instead they have this beautiful two-tone blue and red, deep maroon, burgundy. And then the gilded is fine. Look at these. Oh, and then on the outside of the slipcase. So you guys, this is and I think I got this for like with a discount. It's like $50. Woo! So I'm so excited. This is like something I can really build for my library to something I'll always keep, something that hopefully I will find more of these, and then it's something that I will pass along to family or friends. After I go, someone else will own these because these are just so beautiful. So this is my first Liberty Fund purchase, and I'm more than thrilled. I am more than thrilled. The French Revolution has always been an area of interest for me. Let me see if I can find you a description of it. But I think in this one, Taine is taking a more of a critical view of the French Revolution, which I have always done as well. And it's kind of takes Rousseau and the rest of them to task. So I was extremely, and I'd never heard of this author before, so the fact that he wrote this century after the events of the French Revolution, I find very interesting, and I can't wait to dig into that. Okay, so moving on, and then this was a super, super amazing find. And I think also I didn't know about it until Andrew B's video. Now this has a dust jacket, and I'm going to take this off so you can see the actual binding, and I'm not sure, I will keep the dust jacket on just because it's very beautiful, but the hardcover itself just can stand on its own. And this is Montesquieu. It's my thoughts, but it's a collection of his thoughts from over a certain amount of time. I'll read it to you in a second. It's translated, edited, and with an introduction by Henry C. Clark. Now this is the dust jacket. It's a very large book, as you can see. It also has the dark, like the pages have that same type of tint to them, so that everything to match the buckram. And then of course and it's stitched with a ribbon. So this is what it looks like without the dust jacket. As you can see, I'm handling these things very gingerly because they're so beautiful. Oh, look at this. My thoughts. $22, folks. I think it was 22 or 24. And if you're using that 20% off code, it's even cheaper. And here again is their imprint. It's interesting, isn't it? At first I was like, what is this supposed to represent? Well, let me tell you what it represents. The cuneiform. The cuneiform inscription that serves as our logo and as the design motif for our end papers is the earliest known written appearance of the word freedom or liberty. It is taken from a clay document written about 2300 BC in the Sumerian city-state of Lagash. Isn't that fascinating? And it makes absolute sense. the first known written form of that word. Beautiful. And here's Montesquieu, I thought. Pensées. Of course, we all know Pensées by Blaise Pascal, but this is Montesquieu's thoughts. And they are, oh boy, this is just beautiful. You know, when I look at books like this, I'm like, I think I've been wasting my time with some other books. That's why I want to spend more time building up a library of books that will stand the test of time and be here long after I am, and their thoughts and what they represent will be here long after myself, you know, this generation. And anyway, Montesquieu, my thoughts. Super affordable, you guys. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So the next two books, well, one is known as a classic. I've owned it in a different version before, but again, Andrew B., you know, is breaking my bank over here. No, kidding. They're very cheap. They're very cheap. But he showed this beautiful new translation, and it's a two set. It's a set, 2 volumes, and so it is Alexis de Tocqueville's Democracy in America. This is the volume 1. Translated by James T. Schleifer. And so it's 2 volumes, paperback, and I don't mind. I don't mind having these in paperback. They have beautiful French flaps. Again, with the cuneiform motif. They're sturdy. They're sturdy paperbacks. So as you're reading, you know, it can fall open a little bit. You're not going to break the spine. As you can see, the binding. Let me just see if it'll focus on that for a minute. There you go. Very tight. Wow. I've always wanted to read Democracy in America, and I haven't. And this 2-volume set was $22 from Liberty Fund. You're not going to find it a more beautiful edition anywhere else. And this is an English-only edition of Democracy in America. And yeah, this new democracy is not only the one that Tocqueville presented to the reader of 1835, then to the reader of 1840. The reader will see how Tocqueville proceeded with the elaboration of the main ideas of his book. Features include a translator's note, list of key terms, foreword, contemporary map of North America, editor's introduction, footnotes, appendices, a list of all works known to have been used by Tocqueville, bibliography, and index. So this thing is everything. And it's the most recent translation, or the English only edition. Wow! And it does say that on the front, English. This thing is beautiful. So rest assured that I'm going to be having more of these in the future, but more of that in a second. Okay, so the final book that I got in my first foray into the land of Liberty Fund. Again, I also have to give a hat tip to Andrew B., and I will link his channel below because he's got some good stuff, and I hope if he has any more that he will show them to us. It's a request from me and the rest of BookTube, Andrew. And I never really even considered this book before, but then he showed it and talked about it, and I said, and for like $14, I said, heck yeah. This is the Encyclopedic Liberty, political articles in the dictionary of Diderot, and I believe that's correct, in Lambert. And these are translated by Henry C. Clark and Christine Dunn Henderson. Let me get my little reading glasses here. So it's an encyclopedia of sorts, obviously, as the name would indicate. All right, let me just go here. This is the encyclopedia. the French word for that, was arguably the most important collaborative publication of the 18th century Enlightenment. Designed as both a comprehensive reference work and as a war machine aiming to change the way people think about every aspect of the human and natural worlds, the encyclopedia became an improbable bestseller, appearing fitfully in the face of resistance and censorship between 1751 and 1765. Involving anywhere from 140 to 160 contributors, the compendium covered 20 million words and roughly 72,000 articles in 17 volumes. So this version, Encyclopedic Liberty, which again is massive, it's about almost very close to 800 pages. Encyclopedic Liberty is the first attempt to translate and bring together some of the most significant political writing from this hugely influential work. It includes 81 articles written by at least 14 different contributors and presented in readable modern English translations. Chosen for their original, controversial, and/or representative character, the articles touch on every aspect of the ideas, practices, and institutions of Western political life, ranging from the foundations of political order, the nature of liberty and equality, and the different types of constitutional regimes, to the role of the state in economic or religious affairs, and the boundaries between manners, morals, and laws. The reader will find in these pages nothing less than a panoramic lexicon of the political thought and imagination of the mid-18th century in Europe's leading Enlightenment home on the very eve of the Atlantic revolutions. This will be a wonderful addition to filling in a lot of the holes in my knowledge on the Enlightenment, as far as I know that a lot of the Founding Fathers read or had a volume or a couple of volumes of the encyclopedia. I think Jefferson did. And so these were the things that they were reading at the time. And, I want to read what they read as well. Just gives you insights into how that fed into the American Revolution. And indeed, and then eventually after that into the French Revolution. But so that's what this encompasses. And I forgot to read to you what the Montesquieu My Thoughts was about. So let me just give you just a quick read on that. My Thoughts provides a unique window into the mind of one of the undisputed pioneers of modern thought, the author of the 1748 classic, The Spirit of the Laws. From the publication in 1721 of his first masterpiece, Persian Letters, until his death in 1755, Montesquieu maintained notebooks in which he wrote down and dictated ideas on a remarkably wide variety of topics. Some of his entries are early drafts of passages that he eventually placed in his published works. Others are outlines or early versions of projected works that were ultimately lost, unfinished, or abandoned. Still others are isolated reflections or observations whose ultimate purpose is not always clear. Overall, these notebooks provide important insights into his views on a broad range of topics, including morality, religion, history, law, economics, finance, science, art, and of course his signature preoccupation, constitutional liberty. Montesquieu called these notebooks Mes Pensées, My Thoughts, and they appear in their entirety in English for the first time in this Liberty Fund edition. So that's pretty outstanding. I'm very, very chuffed, as someone might say. It's just beautiful. The pages, everything is about, it's hard to communicate through this video what it feels like to hold this book and to feel the way the paper's moving, hear the sound of the new pages kind of, as they separate from each other, and the colored gilding, on the pages. It just makes the sound. It's beautiful. And it smells wonderful. Of course it does. Oh boy. So yeah, that's a 20-minute video on my first adventure into Liberty Fund land. And there will be more. Um, I have said that I kind of had a little bit of a book haul spurt from some of the bargain places I shop at, but I'm putting that, I'll be doing one more video doing my part 2 book haul to show you, but I'm really going to be saving up my money now for things that I really just want to permanently have in my library, that are aesthetically beautiful, that are classics, um, that are older works. So I have a new goal now for my library. That's not to say that I won't still be reading new releases. I will. I do review books, and I want to continue to do that. But I think for now I'm going to be focusing on the more long-lasting things like this, and really spend time with books that are very books that really matter. I'm not trying to say that to the exclusion of other things that come out, but these things are old, and you know, I'm a lover of just ideas that have stood the test of time, and I want to be, better at that, as far as collecting these works. So, let me know what you think of these. Um, I will be investing in a couple of other sets when the time is right, maybe when my tax return comes in. You never know. I'm looking at David Hume, Adam Smith. There's a set of Lord Acton's collected writings. There's a bunch of other stuff. I highly recommend. They only have a limited amount of this beautiful catalog, but if you go to libertyfund.org, you can email them and say, hey, I'd love a catalog. Give them your address, they'll mail it to you. It's free. And you will find something in here, I guarantee you. If you're into history, politics, philosophy, economics, finance, history of constitutional thought, it's all here. It's just an amazingly smart book catalog, and I mean that just literally and figuratively. So more to come on Liberty Fund. But for now, I wanted to show you these beautiful, beautiful books, high quality, very affordable. Just even browse their website. I'll link them below in the comments. But anyway, guys, thanks for taking a look at these Liberty Fund books with me, and I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. And we'll talk to you soon here on the History Shelf, guys. Take care. Bye.